All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you guys are tuning in with us, going live here once again about the IoT and the PrimeGate hotspots, PrimeGate Hub. We're going to wait for some people to get online here until we start seeing a lot more people trickle in into the live here. But I do have a co-host with me today, Mr. Live himself, Peter O'Hannon. How you doing, man?
Hey, Mikey, how's it going? How's everybody doing out there?
Hey man, it's good. Here in the Midwest, it's a starting to make that turn already into fall. You know what I mean? Like today
Yep.
is today is like 60 degrees, man.
Yeah.
It was like 90 like 2 weeks ago. So that Midwest weather shifts real fast, man.
Right. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, brother. But today, what are we talking about today, man? Why are we here? What are we getting into today, man?
Well, today we are here to talk about the PrimeGate Lora Hub, which basically is a way that people can provide essentially a plug and play residual income for themselves. Is literally what people are able to do with this.
Plug and play, man. Plug and play. That's just huge. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people out here looking for different opportunities, looking for a way to bring in residual income. And there's always some, you got to jump through some hoops. You got to do this. You got to recruit this next person. You got to build this massive business. So to have a plug and play system, that is huge, and it's actually really, really simple.
It's very easy. Very easy.
I think that's going to be like one of the things that's going to draw people to this, a little more, is that it's simple, it's easy, plug and play, and you just don't have to do anything. There's a lot of people who have been, scammed with opportunities. Hey, join this MLM, and came out with $0.
Exactly.
Cool. Yep. So we're just still waiting just a little bit. Couple more people jump on. Last time we did this, so we had about 80 people tuned in to us, about 80 people on our live, but over 2,000 people viewed that actual live event. So technology, man, the source of technology, right?
Yep. Yeah, I'm getting it out so that people know it's on.
Get it out to the masses. We are about to start here, and we're going to tell you just a little bit more about what we have going on about this PrimeGate Lora Hub that we're talking about. That's a plug-and-play system for you all. Could be one of the easiest things you've ever done. Seriously, could be one of the easiest things you've ever done. So let's go ahead and get started, man. So PrimeGate Lora Hub. What is it? How does it work? First question for you, right out of the gate.
So essentially, the PrimeGate Lora Hub is a device that is a plug-and-play device that allows you to transcribe data that emits over a low radio frequency. So the way it connects is it connects with the Internet of Things devices, which could be your cell phone, it could be your computer, it could be your smart TV, it could be your refrigerator, it could be your Apple Watch communicating with your phone, whatever. But wherever we go and wherever we're walking, we'll see, for example, if we're watching Facebook and we're scrolling through our feed, all of a sudden we'll see something pop up. And that thing that'll pop up will be the thing that we were either talking to our friend about or thinking about maybe a couple hours prior. And the reason why that happens is because essentially the retail data that other companies are looking for essentially gets transcribed through other types of units, and basically these other companies pay for that data. Data is such a huge commodity right now and so valuable to people. And so if we can basically get a way to get involved and own and essentially be paid for a portion of that data, it becomes something quite lucrative. So, basically as these devices communicate with one another, and they basically will produce what's called the helium token. And so we essentially will be paid in the helium token on a daily basis, possibly on an hourly basis, depending on how fast you're producing helium for your device. The device itself is small. It's the size of a Wi-Fi router. It's as quiet as a Wi-Fi router. And as we said, it's plug and play. So it's pretty easy.
Plug and play. So this plug and play system, you're telling me that basically I get it, I plug it in, and then once I plug that in, it starts transcribing data. And you know, in layman's terms, what it's doing is it's helping data move from point A to point B. And because I'm able to help that data move, I get paid for that.
Yep.
Okay, that's kind of wild because typically you're talking about huge, massive companies that's the ones that get paid for transcribing this data. Just like you said, you know, when you're, you know, after you leave one site and you go to another site and you see on Facebook now you're getting ads for whatever you were just looking for. Basically what just happened there is your data was transcribed and now it's being moved to Facebook to put it in front of your eyes to make you possibly purchase, right? That's data being transcribed from one site to the next, moving from point A to point B. So that's ridiculous. Now, why would the next person even care about that, right? I know you get paid for it, we get paid for it or whatever, but why would they necessarily care? Like what could this IoT, this Internet of Things become, you know, in the future?
Well, essentially what we're doing right now is we are building our own infrastructure. So we are building the infrastructure of basically what could be considered kind of like the next Verizon. So you know how Verizon has all of these Fios cables that are beneath the ground. So instead of us having cables beneath the ground, we have devices that are plugged into a wall and essentially are laid out anywhere between 900 to 1,000 feet from each other that are working off of each other to transcribe this data, which is producing this helium token for us. So for us, really, it's what we're winning out of this is getting involved in ground floor opportunity, you know, that really has a strong ability to be worth a considerable amount more in the future. And Mike will talk about what it actually a token is right now. But really, you know, we're talking about building this out the right way first. And so that's what we're doing. We're building thousands of cities across the world in a short amount of time. And, you know, we're really doing this in a fast pace too.
Yeah. So basically what is going on here is you said they're similar to like, you know, Verizon starting up, right? You know how Verizon, AT&T, all of them state that they have the world's largest network, right? T-Mobile, right? So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get these devices out to as many people as possible so that network becomes larger, right? So that people all over the world are now transcribing data and still bringing in an income from that. But now we have this huge network of people providing coverage throughout the whole entire world. That is massive because I'm going to tell you something. The other day, I've done a lot of research on this and I was doing research and they kind of gave an example of what could happen with this. And they were talking about how individual who has a car, you know, when they have their car, if their light comes on, if their maintenance light comes on, as soon as that maintenance light come on, they then have to go, you know, call, you know, someone, a mechanic or something like that. Then they need to take it into the mechanic. The mechanic needs to run a diagnostic. Then from there, he needs to order the parts. Then from there, he needs to work on the car. So now the car is out of your hands for about 4 days, right? Mm-hmm. And they were showing what the IoT network could actually do for it. And the way they explained it is that now with the IoT network, now your car is talking to these two devices are talking. Now your car is talking to another device saying, hey, my maintenance light just came on. Now your car already knows exactly what's wrong. Your car tells that dealership that, hey, his brakes are going bad. The dealership computer then right then and there orders your brakes. and sends you a message saying these are the times we want you to bring your car in, and then you pick the time, and then you go in, take your car in, your brakes get fixed that day, get back to you same day. So that's kind of crazy that no person is involved in that. It's all computerized, but that's because the IoT network and these devices talking to each other. That's
Right.
what, that's just the beginning of all of this. Craziness. Okay, so we talked about what the IoT network is. It's different devices communicating with each other without people being involved, basically, right? We get paid for that in a Helium token. So let's talk about the Helium token. All right, what is it? How much is it? How do I turn that into being able to spend that?
So essentially, the Helium token itself is a cryptocurrency. And if you guys aren't familiar with cryptocurrency, it's a little bit for another discussion. A and B, you really don't have to be that familiar with cryptocurrency to understand this. You really need to be familiar with this in terms of a business perspective. And so whether that's you owning it in a residential home or owning it in a small business or a big business or apartment complex, it doesn't matter what it is. You have to think of this from a business side of things. So the way I basically have said it in the past is, what if you, as a metaphor purely, but what if you went to a casino and you went into a slot machine and you put in $500, and that $500 produced you $500. But while your $500 has already been stopped and you don't have any more money, you don't have to put any more money into it, the slot machine is still producing you more and more and more money. That is essentially what we're getting with this device. We're paying a one-time $500 fee for the device itself, which has a limited warranty on it, but has a lifetime that you can use it for. So essentially, what the HNT token is as these particular HNT tokens are produced, they will be essentially minted, and as they're minted from the blocks, from the actual blockchain itself. So it's basically called mining, and mining is essentially the algorithmic way on how the actual coins are produced, and this happens over a very short period of time, every hour. And basically, when that's produced, the HNT token is made. And then if you're the person, if your device is the device that essentially wins that algorithm, then you are paid in the Helium token. So that's one way.
Right. So basically, once we plug these things in, they start transcribing data. They start helping move data around. We're paid in this Helium token, right? This Helium token is a cryptocurrency. One of the ways that I try to let people who are not informed with cryptocurrency understand is that, think about getting paid in a share of a company or stocks or something like that. You're getting paid in this asset that has the ability to rise and fall in value, right? That's the same thing with this coin or token that you're going to receive, this HNT. It has the ability to rise and fall in value. Right. When it first came out, the thing was at 19 cents per. Now it's, up above that, and we'll show you exactly what it is now. So you have the ability to start bringing these tokens in now, and then for them to continue to rise in value. So now you have an asset that you're holding instead of just that dollar that we can give you for the current price that would never change, right? So you have that ability for your money to grow months and months and months and months after you already even bring in that token. So that's a huge way to really get that information out to people who just don't know about cryptocurrency. And yes, if you don't know cryptocurrency, yes, you can spend it. Yes, you can cash it out. Yes, there are going to be multiple ways for you to actually use and spend your cryptocurrency. So do you want to talk about one of the ways that we actually can spend our HNT directly from this device?
So we have a crypto debit card that essentially is coming out and basically is out, and this particular crypto debit card allows people to take their HNT and they'll be able to store it on our app itself through our Ulala card, and they will also be getting a physical bank account as well. So people can actually use that as a financial institution essentially, and they'll be able to use that to go to ATMs, to go to pay for whatever they want, pay for bills, whatever you want to do. So essentially, this residual income that you'll be receiving through these devices can really be how you can pay for a lot of stuff where you couldn't have done that before. Now, that's number one. Number two, you also have to realize that in the financial institution, this is in my opinion, where crypto differs from the financial institutions, right? So there's no financial institution that a layman, a regular person can just go, okay, I'm going to produce my own money. It doesn't happen that way. But in cryptocurrency, you have this solution. And typically what they're called miners, these miners run like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. They're loud, they're noisy, they take up a lot of space. The electricity is costly. But with this, it's the size of a Wi-Fi router, as I said before, and the electricity production is 12 cents a month. That's all you have to pay. That's nothing. 12 cents a month is nothing. Nothing. So, it's really awesome.
Yeah, man, because you start to think about it, and all you're doing really is, with these financial institutions, they make a lot of money just by confirming your transactions, right? They make tons and tons of money because everyone around the world is swiping their card, swiping their card, swiping their card. And every time you swipe that card, that bank gets paid. They get a percentage every single time you swipe that card. So they have a way to make their own money just off of you using their product, right? Off of you having a bank account there, right? So they're creating that money every single time. And obviously the banks and our government just continue to print money, right? But that's why cryptocurrency is so valuable, because there's only a certain amount of it to start with, right? Like gold, there's only a certain amount of it to start. So it has that potential to continue to rise in value. So that's one of the things I absolutely love about cryptocurrency. But so let's kind of shift here, right? Let's talk about, we talked about what the AT&T token is. Let's kind of talk about the price and, kind of what's happened with that token, over time. So as we can see here, this is pulled up directly from CoinMarketCap. The Helium token, AT&T token right now is $1.78.
Awesome.
$1.78 per. So that's huge, right? Because remember, when we first stated, when this started, this thing was down to about 20 something cents, 27 cents. So when people started receiving these tokens from these devices, it was at 27 cents. Now, if they held those tokens to now, they have gotten a substantial increase just from holding those tokens. Okay. That's the ability that you have right now. And we're still at the infancy stage of this project, right?
And one thing,
these devices are just being pumped out. A lot of these devices are being pumped out, and we're at the infancy stage right now. So what we're saying is you have the ability to start bringing in these tokens, and you have the ability to continue that rise with us as this coin and token continues to go up in value. Go ahead, Pierre.
Okay, so Mike, do me a favor, go back to where it was 20 something cents.
Yep, there it is.
What was that date? That was the
June 9th, 2020.
There we go. So June 9th, so July, August, September, basically 3 months. 3 months. This went from 20 something cents to $1.78.
It basically like close to 4x.
Close
right?
to 4x.
Yeah.
You tell me in a financial institution where you can 4x your money within 3 months. Can't.
Yeah. Close to 5x. Sorry.
Can't.
It just doesn't happen in months like that, right?
So if somebody plugged in their device, now let's just put it real for real. If they plugged in their device in June and they just held their helium token all the way up until now and did nothing else, they essentially 4x their money. And that's crazy.
Yeah, even more than that. Yeah, even more than that. So that's crazy, and that's the opportunity that we all have, and that's why we're all here to kind of talk about that. So yeah, that's the helium token, right? But let's talk about, like, we talked earlier that each one of these devices costs $500, right? So if you have a one-time fee of $500, you can get this actual device that's going to produce you an income on a hourly, daily, residual income. Now we're trying to light up as many homes as possible, right? Other than the income, other than the helping people get this out into their homes, what else do you see a benefit for an individual that's just watching? Hey, I know I've heard a lot of things about an income that I could receive, a residual income. What else could you say to them, like, hey, this is real, this is serious?
Well, essentially, the other thing is the company that we have partnered up with in Prime Strategies, is a multi-billion dollar company which works with billion-dollar Fortune 500 companies all across the world and invest in them. And to have a strong CEO of that company since 1974 working with us, and himself being in, and his company being involved in every single aspect of everything all across the world.
Yeah.
That's just something that's really, really, really awesome. The fact that we can work with that. And then this is essentially only phase one. Phase one is, let's see how many of these cities that we can light up as fast as possible. Then phase two comes, okay, well, Prime has other products that we're able to use as well and launch as well and sell to businesses as well. And stage three has other stuff. So this is just the beginning.
And all of those things that come in stage 2, stage 3, stage 4 are going to be things that help you get more helium tokens, correct?
Correct. And as these businesses, these IoT businesses and any company involved in IoT starts to see the impact that these PrimeGate Lora Hubs are offering, they essentially will want to work with them too. And when they do, they're going to have to work directly off of your devices if they're in their area. So in essence, that way, you're going to be able to produce more data as well.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Okay, so I know people who are going to be watching this are going to have some questions, right? And I already know one of the questions, right? I already know, because as soon as I heard about this, it was my question as well, until I started doing my own research. Once again, anyone out there, feel free to go research on your own IoT network, how it works, how you can benefit from it. But my question was, initially, I decide I want to get one of these hubs, right? Their goal is to get as many out, around the world as possible. So I get one, my person a mile away from me gets one, the next person next to me gets one. Now I got all these hotspots in my area. Is that now diminishing from the amount of money that I can actually bring in on a daily, hourly basis for having so many of these? Is it getting saturated and I'm not bringing in enough tokens? Now my income goes down.
No, it actually doubles, if not more, the amount of AT&T that you'll be actually making, because the more that these devices communicate with one another, the more data that's transcribed, the more you're actually producing the helium token. So if you have one device, for example, in your city, and that's all that you have, then you'll be producing the helium token, but not as much as someone else who has like 3 or 4 within like a 1 or 2 mile radius.
Okay, and why is that? Why is that then producing more? Is it because we're covering a larger area for the network? Is that what it is?
Yeah, you're covering a larger area for the network. You're allowing more of these devices to communicate with one another, which is allowing them to actually pull data from certain areas. And keep in mind, guys, the data that's being pulled never ever has to do with personal data, and the usage that it's being done with is not through 5G. It's done through low radio frequencies.
Yeah, yeah, that's huge, right? That's a big thing because a lot of people are really, they when it comes to data, when it comes to, their personal information, we don't want that information getting out there. But what we
Right.
can say is that this is already being done to you right now, right? We've already given you an example of what's happening. And it's the same thing that's going to be done with these hotspots. It's consumer data, right? It's where you were, what store that you went into, you know what I mean, what you were browsing upon on your computer, what's happening, on how long you watch Netflix, just consumer data.
Yep.
That's happening to you every second of the day already. So why should you not get paid for it, right?
Exactly.
That's the biggest thing. Why should you not get paid for something that's already happening? We're just giving you the opportunity to be in that place and basically being on a team of individuals who can bring in this income from something you would never be able to any other way.
Yep.
So that was a good point. That is not any type of privacy data whatsoever. Okay, so good answer there. The more they connect, the more that's in an area, the more coverage area you have, the more tokens you're going to bring in. So if someone's got 25, 30 of these in their city and they're all within like a mile of each other, they are going to be doing it pretty good when it comes to the residual income. Am I right by saying that?
Yeah, and then if they have a lot in their area, some of those particular devices will actually be entered into a consensus group. And when they get entered into a consensus group, then maybe in a period of one day, they could even reach, helium token of maybe 100, 150 in one day, just because they're in that consensus group. So then you're talking about, a fair amount of substantial income for one day that you're receiving. That's not typical, but there are some times when that will happen and you'll just be, automatically entered into that. So essentially you have challenges and witnesses is really how this works. So you basically, one device is the challenger, the other one is the witness, and they're working off of each other to create a proof of coverage network. That's essentially what this is.
Right. So we're proving that we have these devices all across the world, and by doing that, we're proving that we have this coverage and this network, the people's network. Right? It's no longer Verizon Wireless Network. It's no longer AT&T or T-Mobile network. This is the people's network. This is, you get paid off of having these things around and having this, whatever it goes up to, 5-10 mile radius. That's a big deal. Okay, so now that they're connecting and we're talking about these consensus group, you said someone brought, in the past, we saw someone bring in, 100 tokens or something like that in one day. That is crazy to think that person just brought in like $170 in that day at the given price, right? Like $178 at the given price. So I guess my question is, without, past performance do not guarantee future results. What are some results that you have seen from people with similar devices and things of that nature? What have you seen, without saying, hey, this is what you're going to get, but what have you seen from other people that have devices similar to this already?
So on a compliant basis, basically we can say that, within 20 to 25 helium token is what they're being produced a week. Now, there have been other examples, obviously, through YouTube and other ways where people have shown that there's more, substantially more. And a lot of those devices are devices that are in areas where there's much more coverage availability. So in other words, more units that are working off of each other, therefore producing more data, therefore producing more helium token. But we're saying on a compliant basis, really between 20 to 25 helium token, but you can potentially produce much more than that.
Much more. I actually saw a guy before that was doing about 10 a day. Now, once again, past performance did not guarantee future results. He was doing about 10 a day. And if you look at those numbers, man, that is a nice residual income off of a $500 one-time purchase. So that's what got, the vision, right? You got to have vision when you're talking about any type of product that is, kind of in its startup phase and things of that nature. You got to have that vision. And once you have that vision of what this can be and what others have done before you, then you'll start seeing great opportunity for yourself. And that's when I saw the opportunity. When I saw someone bring in 40 tokens in a day, I thought, what? In one day? Like, I saw someone bring in 100 in one day. Like, that gets me excited and starts letting me know a little bit more about what the future may hold for these projects. So, okay. So we went over what it is. We went over, what this device is, how it works, what it produces, the AT&T token, how much it is, how much the device and how much the token is. Do you have anything else that really you wanted to get off of your chest about this project and bring more people to the realization that this thing is going to be massive?
No, Mike, I really believe that this is just at the beginning. And as I said before, we really are at base camp here. We really are at ground floor. And when people start seeing the results of essentially what these are producing, it's just going to be like, lighting a fire, like everybody and their uncle is going to want it. And the ability for the device to essentially sell itself is going to be quite simple. Let's just give a hypothetical. If you're getting 10 helium token a day, right? Now this is not past performance, doesn't include future results, right? So this is completely hypothetical out of my head. But if they're producing 10 a day and you show evidence of that, that's 300 token a month. Take 300 and multiply that times 178. What do you get?
I'll do it for you.
Do it for me. Let's see it.
534.
534. So if that was the case and you spend $500 one time, and this is where that example comes in, where that $500 just keeps producing for you month after month, week after week, day after day, and your cost output is 12 cents a month. That's it. What small business wouldn't want that? What person in their home wouldn't want that? And this is only the beginning.
Man, I don't know who wouldn't want something like that has that ability. Now, obviously, there's going to be a lot of people out there who are just not hip to the technology, right? It just doesn't know much about it, and they're probably looking at this like, there's absolutely no way. Listen, people, take your time, do the research on your own. I did it. I did it for hours and hours. The first time I actually heard about it, I actually did about 6 hours of research. I couldn't go to sleep at night because I was getting so excited about everything that this opportunity had to offer. And then I started looking more and more into the Internet of Things, the IoT network. And you'll start to see that so many things are already being ran off this. I don't know if you know, Lime scooters are already run off the IoT network. Like literally, when you want to find out where a scooter is, it is off of this network. Like you go into this app and it shows you where the scooters are. You go into this app and it shows you which one of the scooters needs to be charged. Like they are already running off of this network. Cars are being run off of this already. Phones, computers, everything. So it's crazy that you have this opportunity to get involved in a company that, with a device that actually can produce you this income off of this network. So this is real ground floor. It's the beginning. It's in its infancy stages, but we are trying to help people become hip to the opportunity and the knowledge of what this IoT network is, so that more and more people can get these around their home. And our job, literally, is the only reason we're doing this is because the more people around us that have these devices, like we said earlier, the more people around us, the more the more money you make and the more money we make, because these things are going to connect. So we're all in this together. It's the people's network. That's huge.
We all win.
That's huge.
We all win. We all win.
We all win.
Yep.
It's time to unite, right? It's time to unite the people.
Awesome.
Anything else? Anything else? Do we have any questions? We have any questions in here?
I don't know. Do you see any?
I had no question, but I see wait until the coin goes up too. Hey, I agree. I agree to once that coin goes up, like now is the time to be trying to get as many of them as you can, right? As many as you can, because you can think like, what if you were taking in like 10 a day when that thing was 29 cents? You know what I mean? What if you were taking in 10 a day when that thing was 30 cents? Well, now we're going to be taking in, coins per day while this thing is still only at $1.78 and it's still at the beginning. So I think that is huge. So, Peter, I guess we'll do kind of like a quick summary, right? I'll do a quick summary. All right. Mm-hmm. What is this device? What are we talking about here? Okay. We're talking about the PrimeGate Lora Hub. Okay. Now, what this device does is it transcribes data. That data, exactly how it works is that it brings in data from, different devices, and it gets it from point A to point B. Once it gets it to point B, you are then provided with what's called the AT&T token or coin, right? You're provided with that at the current price that it is, okay? Right now, the price of that token is about 78, and we show proof of that, right? $1.78. That token used to be 29 cents back in June, okay? This is a one-time $500 payment for you for a simple device that goes into your home, plug and play, starts transcribing data, and you get paid, all right? It's not loud. It's just like your regular Wi-Fi router, and it's just going to produce an income for you. Costs about 12 cents per month on your power output. That's about it. Like, seriously, that is as simple as this opportunity is.
Yeah, it's not hard.
It's not hard.
I think there's another question. Do you see it, Mike?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, so will I be able to run this device without your Wi-Fi? You do not need Wi-Fi in order to use the device. So you do not need Wi-Fi in order to use the device. So that's important.
Yeah, that's a good question. Very, very good question. And there's going to be some more information, obviously, that comes out behind that and why you don't need Wi-Fi, guys. So make sure you just stay tuned with us whenever we go live, whenever we bring out some more information. And that was a really, really good question.
Any other questions? I think that's it.
Somebody just said when you wrap your head around the actual idea of this, you won't be able to sleep. Like, I completely agree, right? When you start to understand what the opportunity holds and what it can do for you, you'll start to think about, like, really, this is some income that I can make off of a simple $500. And let's be honest, like, how many people have blown $500 on something that you have nothing valuable for it, right? You have nothing tangible. This is an opportunity to have a tangible product and have something create an income for you, even years and years and years down the road.
Gotcha.
Cool. Well, I don't think we have any questions. I think we're going to end it there, man.
Awesome.
Thank you for jumping on here and giving us that knowledge and giving us the information about this product. And I really just want to say, man, I can't wait till people start seeing exactly what this can do for them. Instead of us being the ones showing everyone, I want the people to be like, listen, Mike, I want to get on that live with you. I want to show them exactly what's happened for me since you told me about this. So I'm pretty excited for that moment, man.
Awesome. That sounds good. Thanks so much, Mike. Appreciate it.
All right, man. You have a great day. Everyone else, definitely have a great day. If you see this later, go ahead and drop your questions. I'll still get back to all of those questions if you're viewing this at a later time. But thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Get your device. Let's all start bringing in an income. See you guys at the top or from the top. Thank you.
Thank you.